So I went out and about today because I wanted to pick up some bees. I wanted to pick up one frame of bees from both of my hive, one in Vermont and one up in Monroe. I wanted to pick one frame out with brood and eggs because remember I had I had 2 hives here that swarmed and left. Right when I put the package in, within 2 days they left. So I kind of wanted to make up. My friend Shelly had one swarm and her son Craig had a queen that died. So we're trying to replace a bunch of stuff. So this is from the Monroe hive. I took one frame out and I had the eggs, like I said, eggs, brood. I've locked this up for today. I blocked the whole thing. And so what I'm going to do is in 2 days I'm going to take this off because I want them to kind of get used to their area in here. I have a feeder from Fat Bee Man. Well, I made it from his plans, which I love this feeder. And they're already eating from the system. I like this system a lot. I'm trying out between my feeding system, this feeding system. I like where I can put my pollen in, but I really like this system here I'm glad I got the plans. I don't have time, and look they're eating it. They're coming up eating. And I love this, that I can do this. Well, I can do mine too without even bothering anybody. I don't have to bother the bees whatsoever. So what I was saying was, I locked this up for 2 days, maybe a day or two. I might unlock it tomorrow. Because when you move bees from a new place, they just have to kind of get used to their surroundings. If they're too close, which maybe I'm overdoing it because the bees would if I put it from a hive over here, I'm afraid that the bees would wander back to that hive and you'd just be left with bees, nurse bees in here. But we'll see. See what happens. This beehive here is from my hive in Vermont. I did the same thing. I went and I brought one frame of brood eggs and fresh eggs that were just laid recently, and there were some larvae, different stages of larvae. I locked this one up, but I learned one lesson today is I made this is my swarm box that I keep in my car in case there's a bee swarm. It's not as nicely constructed as these. This is made of plywood, this is made of pine. I found out I have this plywood one, the roof is a little bit crooked, so I was trying to keep this locked up for 2 days, just so they would kind of get used to that, and they kind of snuck out the top because it's warped a little bit because of the rain. So I don't really like the plywood as much. I'll use the pine, it's a little bit more expensive, but a little bit more quality. So what I did was I unblocked this and I let the bees, you see a lot of bees flying around me, so I just moved these bees maybe at 10 o'clock this morning it was, so today it's like 4 o'clock, so 6 hours ago. What they're doing is they're all coming out, they're flying around, and they're doing their circle, they're kind of figuring out where they are in the earth. They're like, we're not back to where we used to be, so where are we? Where's the sun setting? Where's the sun rising? So we can figure out what we need to do. So that's kind of what they're doing now, which they're not going far. You can see they're just circling around and going back into their hive, which is a good thing. So it gives me hope to maybe unplug this one tomorrow. So what I want to tell you, I will check this now. I just did this today. Both of these I did today. I'll keep progress on this, and I will check them in another 7 days to see if there's queen cells. Actually, I might not wait that. I'm going to check in another 3 days to see if they've started making queen cells. If they haven't made them that quickly, and they're not going to make queen cells, I'll take them back to their original hive. But we'll wait and see what happens.